So when someone talks to you about meditation, like someone like me, when I tell you meditate for 2 to 5 minutes a day, do you immediately get that like idea in your head where you think you need to be sitting cross-legged with your palms up on your knees and like controlling your breath and all these things? Is that what you think when I talk about meditation? Because what I want to introduce you to is maybe an open idea of what meditation is and share with you what my meditation practice started as and now what it's developed into. So when I first started meditating, I had to do it slow because there was so much going on in my mind that I would get so distracted by what was going on. So then I decided, okay, well, I'm just gonna do it in like 30-second increments and see if I can just get my mind to shut up for 30 minutes. So that's what I did. And let me be real for a second. I started doing it in the bathroom because that was the only time I could get like semi-quiet time by myself. So I would sit on the toilet and I would close my eyes and just go inward. And I didn't do guided meditation at that time. I didn't do anything. I just sat there and listened to my thoughts. And I had a notepad with me. And yes, I know this sounds so weird and bizarre, but I had a notepad with me. And when those thoughts would come into my head, I would just open my eyes, write down what I thought, set it back down and say, okay, let's try for another 30 seconds. And I would sit. And if something else popped in, I would get right back down and write that down. But what that did was that allowed me to dump out all of these distracting thoughts that my brain was like, please don't forget this, don't forget this, you have to do this. Oh yeah, don't forget this too. And it allowed me to get those thoughts out of my head onto a piece of paper so then I could have that clear, quiet mind. I had to do the same thing right before I would go to bed. I kept a notepad right beside my bed and like right when you're trying to go to sleep, that's when like 90 ideas pop in your head of like, oh, I need to do this, oh, don't forget this tomorrow, and da 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 da. All those things come into your head when you're about to go to sleep, right? Why? It's your subconscious mind trying to remind you of things. But what I have found is if you just put a piece of paper beside you, and I mean, now I use a Rocket book, so I can go and take a picture of it and then be done with it, erase that, and I'm not using like 8,000 pieces of paper because my mind is like always constantly flowing with all, my ideas that I have. But that is the way that I started, and now my practice has developed into something a lot different, and I'm able to just sit there and not have all these thoughts coming in and out. But that's one of the things I teach in my private online groups is how to start meditating and build your practice from there. Because a lot of times we try to sit down for like 10, 15, 20 minutes and can't do it because there's so much going on and no one talks about that. How do you deal with all the thoughts in your head? How do you sit there and be quiet? How do you sit there and focus on your breath? Like all of those things. And no one tells you that. They just tell you to do it and assume that you can. And you can't. It is so hard sometimes when you try. So if meditation is something that you're kind of, you realize all the benefits of it, you see all the things that it could possibly do for you, but it just is so hard for you to do, then girl, I got you. Give me a shout and I will help walk you through it and get you through this process. But those tips I just said earlier, I'm telling you, try those out, see if they work. If they don't work, let me know. I will help you out even more, okay? Talk to you guys later. Bye.